Academic Automobile Engineering, Dr. P.N. Magadishwaran. I welcome you all for this particular program. For that, I extend my warm welcome to today's chief guest, Mr. Aravindhan R. He worked in Assistant Manager, Renault Nissan Technology and Business Center India Private Limited to come over here for to give an insight implementation and application of innovative implementation of cloud, cloud computing in automobiles. This particular program we associated with Institutions Innovation Council self-driven activity. With this preamble, once again, I welcome Mr. Aravind for this great occasion. Welcome, Mr. Aravind.
Thank you, sir, Renata. Thank you, sir.
With this preamble of this small introduction, I just hand over the session to Mr. Mujibur Rahman for formally introduce today's chief guest as well as his.
Myself, Mujibur Rahman, Assistant Professor, Automobile Engineering, Hindustan College of Engineering Technology. Today, our chief guest, Mr. Aravindhan Ramaswamy, he has completed his UG BTech Information Technology in Institute of Road and Transport Technology and completed his MBA Project Management in Sikkim Manipal University. He has an applied experience of 9 years in IT and automobile domain. He was a former associate system engineer at IBM Bangalore. He worked as software engineer at Robert Bosch Engineering and Business Solutions, Coimbatore. His part of working largely involved in cloud computing related to automobiles. He has a vast exposure in the field of cloud computing and interacted with many global clients who are located in Germany, France, Japan, and USA. Currently, he is working as an assistant manager in Renault Nissan Technologies Business Center, India. I once again welcome Mr. Aravindhan sir for this session. Now the session is hand over to you, sir. Thank you.
Oh, Thank you, Mishbur, for a brief introduction about me. So, thank you. So, thank you, Sabrinathan, sir, and Mishbur, for the great opportunity to interact with the young aspirants and young talents minds and future generations of all our autonomous technologies. Okay, so shortly I will share my screen. Give me a minute. Okay, so good morning to all students. Okay, I will present it now. Yes. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks for the confirmation. So it was the grateful effort for the everyone to organize this innovations of the cloud computing technology in the automotive industries. Okay, so first of all, I want to give the some introduction about how the engineer's mindset and how the things will be go in the futures. Okay, so in India,
Mr.
there is a
Aravind, sorry for
yes,
interruption.
yes,
Probably you can do it in a presentation mode so that it will be,
yeah, sure,
yeah.
yeah, sure. So
Yeah,
okay,
fantastic. Great, great. Yeah, you can continue. Thank you.
yeah, okay, yeah. Thanks for reminding Sabrina. Okay, Okay, first I want to give about the some of the myths which are about in the engineering things. So many students or many young aspirants or many parents have believes that if you study in any engineering, we will easily get the job. So that myth we need to break it first of all. So to learn any of the technology. So we are the engineers. We are not a job seekers. We are the one who create the job to everyone. So if you keep this points in your mind that engineers are the job creators, then we will be established this strong in the each and every technologies which are arising and coming around the world. The funny fact is the what are the largest technology arriving in the world? There are some, at least there is a 10 to 20 percentage of involvement in the Indians. So if we need to make that 20 percentage count into the some 80 percentage means we will rule this world. So we have every talents and every opportunities are there in our hands itself. The only thing is the stopping block of our point is the myth. If you study engineering, I will get the job. So where before getting the job, we need to create the job. Then automatically all the companies will call us. So this is the one of the lessons which I learned from my experience. Previously, I am also like you peoples. If we study in engineering, we will get the jobs. So thing is, when we do some innovations, all the companies is offering as a job. That's the true behind creating the jobs with engineering technologies. So now from today onwards, you people keep in the mind engineers need to create a job rather than seeking a job. Okay, slowly we will start with our today's sessions, which is the implementation of cloud computing in automotive industry. So today, if you see the agenda, it's about the cloud computing introductions and how we are implementing this in the automotive industries, how this cloud computing is working in connected vehicles, and how we are implement this technology in autonomous driving. So this is a very interesting topic I can see. In largely the world is demanding this autonomous driving environment. And fifth is shared mobility, how we can share our the technologies with the everyone and everything. And next I'm going to explain about the deeper customer insights and digital manufacturing. So some of the areas where involve the automation technology and robots are involving in manufacturing our cars and assembling the cars. Those things you will see in the theory part, and I will play small videos. You will have some enjoyable session. And eighth and ninth is security and data backup. So this is a very important area which every autonomous industries are the facing now. So we need to how come they are providing the security, how the data backups, how we are extending our chains, and how we are securely involving those kind of situations, how we are handling the things, those kind of will be seen in the security and data backup. And last session is question and answer and thanks session. Okay, I think now we are good to go ahead of our the implementation. Let's see how we can proceed. Okay. Before continue this, so anyone had the experience or heard about the cloud computing? So what is this mean? Can anyone suggest your ideas about the cloud computing so that it will be easy for me to continue further? Mm. Yes, can anyone say your ideas and the knowledge on the cloud environment? Anybody? Mhm.
Dear students, anyone, please interact with expert. Do you know what is cloud computing? Something?
Don't know, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
Okay,
good.
fine.
Yeah.
Good. So thing is here everything is about the learnings only. So I will give you the today knowledge on cloud computing. So by end of the session, if anyone asks what is mean by the cloud computing, you can say you don't used to say that alphabetical that two word. Instead of that, you can say that alphabetical three words, which is yes. Okay. So the first is I can say the general thing. You know the computers, right? So everyone in our homes we have their computers. So those computers are connected with some external wiring technologies or any hardwares. You will have the CPUs will be placed there only. You can store all your items inside only through your machines only. So if you connect to the internet, you can share over some of the information. But future technologies, how it will be, you will have only the monitor. There is no CPUs, no LANs, etc., etc., everything. You can monitor this. Everything is connected to the one environment, which is called the cloud. So instead, in future, if you need to purchase any desktop or any PC means, you no need to buy all the things. If you have any monitors or any table tablets or anything means, you can just purchase it and keep it to the cloud providers. You can whatever you need, you can make use of from those cloud providers. So this is the one of the great effort for the all the human mankind's, how we can implement all these technologies into the each and every field. For example, if the cloud computing was implemented in your college environment, it will reduce the cost of and extra budgets allocated for the purchasing the CPUs, that hardware component, hardware issues, hardware maintenance. You will have the one centralized cloud server. Using that centralized cloud server, you can connect all the devices into your machine. So no need to install any particular software in your machine. What are the availability is there, you can make use of from the cloud infrastructures or cloud servers. So which will be the efficiency for the mankind things. Okay, so this is the general line about the cloud computing. Coming to the cloud computing, how it is affecting the automobile world. Okay, so in automobile world, how the technology is used. If you check some 1980s vehicle like Ambassador or even Maruti 800, okay. So in that in those cars, you will have everything as in the manual things. Even steering also in during that days it was the manual steering. Now we had implemented everyone into the power steering things and all. So sorry, in during world time, what happened is, if there is any parts or anything is damaged means, it will be difficult for the engineers to identify what are the part has the damage, what is the problem, what are the things. They had taken more than the 10, they had spent some 10 years of experience. Yes, 10 years of experience to become the expert in rectifying the errors which are they occurred using the 1980s models cause. But in today's world, what they're doing due to the cloud computing, each infotainment in the sense the touch screen which you are seeing in the every cars. So in that case, all the things are monitoring into the particular database. That database are nothing but stored in the cloud environment. Okay, so in database, so what happened is, we can able to monitor how the car is traveled and what is the acceleration capacity, how they are using of the car. So is the driver is efficient in using of the car, or he is a very new learner, or he is a very rudely he is driving the car. Those every action we can monitor using this our implementations of the technologies. In case if the driver is not maintaining the proper maintenance, that alert message also we can see in our every mobile phones are those things. So for example, if the driver is continuously driving the car for more than the 10 hours without any rest, if the any of the pot is going to be the weak or anything is going to this, he get the notification or he will get the information from those servers to state that okay, the car should have the some rest. So that in that case what we'll do, and we will have the some cloud computing technology. Using that he can find it where is the rest place, how can we do everything, we can track and through this autonomous connected things which is present in the cloud environment. Okay, so here's the points how their cloud computing is changed the world. Okay, so the first thing, if you're saying about the late night, the first mobile phones was the implemented. No one has imagined that like that. No one has imagined that like that. Now even this mobile technology, laptop, PCs, server, database, network, everything is put into the one umbrella that is called the cloud computing environment. So in a previous case, if you are see in your the laboratory, what are the files you are storing, and it will store it only into the particular machines. Okay. So if this store connected to the LAN, you can share the information. But in future, what are the things you are storing? It will store in your cloud directly. Cloud directory is nothing but your folders. Okay, so in folders, what are the things you can store in your monitors? Some of the any machines you can able to access. For example, in college lab you store the some of the datas or some of the files or some of the design you have stored it, but you want to access through to your mobile. Simple, if you are stored in your cloud infrastructure or your cloud server, you can access the same thing in your the mobile device also. In that case, the cloud compute is helping us in the mobile devices. When the introductions of the mobile phones, I think around in the 2000, I believe, yes, in 2000, there's a global itself around the one problem called 2K problems. So if you are Google it, or if you watch some of the movies, there you will come to know the problem with the 2K problems. Initially, in until 1999, we used to return the date as double digit only. After the 2001, only we used to return the date is 4 digit, 2001234 like that. So when they because of that, it replicating the problems, it creating the unnecessary conflict. So to avoid that, like us, many of the engineering graduates and college students, they ask us to these suggestions how we can overcome this problem. So in many people have subjected the report and submitted it, and they mentioned to return the date format into the 4 digits number, so so that they can track all this data. So that 2K problem is changed the entire world. So all the stock market, everything they are unable to track during those days of the technology. To avoid this only, the each people are implementing the new technologies day by day. So now we are thinking, after now we are in 21st century. After that, in 2200, how the world will be like, how we can easily make to use of this. So those kind of problems we are solving and put into the many technology. That is one of the technology is called cloud computing, storing all the data and devices into the one server infrastructure environment. You can ask what is meant by a server infrastructure environment. Infrastructure environment is nothing but, if you're in your college, you can go and visit your laboratory and you can go to the server room. Nothing there will be there. This will be some of the how can I say, some of the CPUs are made into the server mode, and they have maintained it, and they have connected to the each and every LAN things. Okay, so like that, in that lab, instead of having that physical laboratory there, everything, if you are keep it in your single environment. So in global, majorly the four people are providing this cloud computing technologies. One is Amazon, AWS, Amazon Web Services. Another is Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing. Okay, and another is GCP, Google Cloud Computing, Google Cloud Platform. They can use to say. And fourth is Ajibos and Hactronics. There are some other vendors, some local contributor. So these are the four vendors which are providing the cloud computing environment. So if you, I think everyone has these smartphones. So there you can see the Google Drive, or your if you're using some Android phones, they will still provide the Amazon AWS cloud environment, or if you have using the Geo, they will provide a Geo cloud drive. So why they are providing this cloud drive? Simple concept, to capture all the peoples to make use of our the devices. So once you store, instead of rather than storing in your laptop or PC, you can store all your details into the cloud environment. It will have some secure protocol. So for example, many peoples will face these issues, I believe. We have all the photos in mobile phone. Sometimes we used to accidental we used to have some carelessness which led to the accidental damage of our mobile phones. So in this case, all the contacts which are stored in our phones and everything will be lost. But now, today's in technology, even if your phone is damaged, nothing is going to be lost with your data, because all the data are captured in the cloud environment. From there, you can purchase one new mobile phone. Using that, you can take all your data and items and backup things, everything from the cloud environment, and put it to the one shelves. So here I had put the meaning. Cloud computing means computing to the delivery of services and resources using the internet as a medium. So if you go through these things, now today the definition as cloud computing is mentioned as delivery of services and resources using the internet as a medium. Okay, but in future, instead of using this internet as a medium, there might be the some other technology where we can able to connect to the all the environment without the any kind of the mediums or some things. It is going to be the development phase. Maybe once you are the grown up, or when you are attain this stage, you may have the some technology which you are not be aware of it. So that is the way which we are using it from those things. So next is, you can see that cloud computing is an advantage, since you are able to store all your files and data on remote database instead of being limited to the local hard drives or storage devices. So first things which I had explained you with an example of the mobile environment, where you can store all the phones and photos which is be the ready which will be there available, and everything into the cloud environment. Okay, so when that's what they had given you on the explanations about everything, how these things will be acting as human and a friendly interface to the everyone. uh you can see the some of the movies like in Tamil movies also, now they had a taking about this technology. And if you take some Hollywood movies, even if you like watch that Avatar movie, which is released on the 5 years back, there is also you can see the lot of cloud computing technologies involved in it. When I was watching that movie, I not realized that what are the technology they are using it. Then I slowly started exploring and how those things. Once I practically learned it, then only I came to know about they are using the cloud computing and surface computing for transferring the human system into those avatar things. In that movie, you can see I can explain you with one scenes where the cloud technology computing was involved. They will create the one duplicate body for the avatar for the hero, right? So they need to connect his every memory into those duplicate avatar bodies. So what they will do, they will take the one machine and they will ask to sleep the hero in that machine. Using that, they will transfer all his memories and images to those duplicate avatar. So how they are doing that? So they are capturing all our informations from the brain. In brain, we have the some post radiations, which will be the helping to transfer our thoughts. Using that technology, they are transferring our the thoughts, and they are putting all our thoughts into the one server. Why in the server means they need to store it. Only then store we can able to access it. So they are storing all the things into the particular component. From then they are transferring to that avatar things. Okay. So because of this, what happened is so that hero's entire things will be transferred into the avatar body, and from that he will go to Rome and with the load and etc. And all. But in that movie, if you watch carefully, they'll use surface computing and cloud computing, where they can able to transfer every other things and every particles into the one thing. So in this slide, if you see here, here there is a main database is there. Here, whatever maybe it's your notebook or laptop, your PC or your server, your database, even your network, everything we will put into the one environment. So if you put it into the every environment in future, you don't need to build a lot space for your labs. It should be the tiny device either in your mobile or laptop. The whole system is configured. So this is a tiny environment. So within the fingerprint, we will rule over the whole world. So this is the implementation. The going to the global level is take place. In future, you can see by clicking in your smartwatches or clicking some remote, you can open the entire servers, entire PC, entire laptop. So this is some general introduction about the cloud computing, how it changed the whole world. I'm going to the next slide. It's cloud computing in automotive industries. Okay, so before the going through this cloud computing in automobile industry, uh, so how many of them have car in their home? So how many people's can anyone say that which car or which brand you are using in your home environment? Anyone? Mm, okay, no issues. The we can take the any of the cars, or you can visit any Renault or Nissan showroom in Coimbatore, or if any of the person are using the Renault cars, paid Dusters or Nissan cars, Magnite, or even the Datsun's Ready Goes and Datsun Go. Everything you will find that the tag message called the connected infotainment. So infotainment is nothing but the touch screen present in cars. Okay, so in that infotainment, what are the information? How you are traveling, which city you are traveling, how many mileage it is the consuming, how many petrols you are consuming, and how many distance is covered, and how much time taken. Every information you can see in that infotainment box, touchscreen box. So just you can click on those touch screen. There you can see those images, how much your cars is working on it, and how much speed you are traveled, whether you are traveled in the good conditions or whether you are traveled in the bad conditions, whether you are in between the cars gets the any accidents, or everything is monitored in those system. So once you stop the car and you can check your the box, and travel history will be detailed. In the travel history, there's some graph will be there. You can find it how efficient you are in driving. So how that is possible? It's possible because of this car server thing is connected to the master brain, which is nothing but our cloud environment. So car is moving, everything is moving, but information, that information which is passing through the and stored it on the cloud environment. So that information which passes are stored in the one environment. So how we are implementing in our automobile industries? Okay, you can ask me, because your assistant professor Machbur has introduced me that I study the information technology. Then how I can get into the field of automobile industries? Yes, the thing is, first of all, my interest and passion about the cause, which was there. So I was very interested in learning the IT technologies. So during that time, we learned this information technology things, and luckily, and after attending some 15s of interviews, I was passed out in the 2012. That time there was some attrition rate was more. Many of the colleges didn't get the placement, and many of the companies are not visited the campus. There was the huge attrition which take place in the 2011 and 2012. So somehow I had completed my graduation. Like you people, the young minds, during that time we don't have the seriousness about the next stages of our the life, how it will be overcome and those things and all. So we had passed out the colleges, and then after that, what will happen? Here we'll take prepare the resume and we'll go and sit into the Chennai. Like that, I also moved to the Chennai and started searching the jobs. You won't believe me, I had attended the 15 interviews for the different companies. At last, using that each interview, I got the some experience, some of the things. There's I had this was an experience to mingle with the different kind of persons, different kind of the persons, and different kind of the atmospheres which they are came from, and different kind of the anything they came. Then only I realized about the future we need to change the some of the myths and the facts which are related to the engineering. So that time what happened is I tried to create the one project. It's some social networking project. Like LinkedIn, I used to create the one project for the social network. So during that time, I got an interview call from the IBM. So before asking the question, they asked me to introduction about myself. During that introduction, I got this in a open. They mentioned that the job opportunity you need to explain only the 2 minutes. So 1 minute I given the introduction, and 1 minute I given about the social platform which I developed. And they had didn't after that what happened is they asked me more about this, how we can implement and how those things and what are the points on those projects and those things and all. So they didn't even ask me the any technical question. Rather than I had explained the whole thing about my the project, and they had impressed on this project. Then they are gave me an offer. So this is the way I created the job opportunity. Likewise, you people also need to create any job opportunity. You can ask why this guy is explaining about the cloud computing. He is why he is explaining about this opportunity, how he created. Because this cloud computing is also one of the opportunity created by an IBM for to market and support the global market. Okay, so if you are asked about the cloud computing, it transfer the many multiple industries into the driving of innovation and growing the pace of business continuity. For example, if you ask the any of your persons or relatives working in the ITs or IT related, they will say what are the technology will come. It will be implemented first in the IBM. Did you know the why? Because IBM is the organization who first discovered this computing. Using this IBM technology, Bill Gates has developed the operating system. Based on this operating system, the using the IBM hardware and Microsoft software, the entire computing devices are ruling the world. So even though we have the iOS and anything is that, but if you ask any persons, they will get the any hardware devices that will be from IBM, any software devices that will be from the Microsoft. They had taken the one revolutionary changes in the whole world by introducing the computing machine. So next level technology, what they are introducing on the computing machine is the cloud computing, which you are going to feel the touch and feel of those industries. Okay. So in automotive industry, in previously, if you need to take any course in 80s and 90s, you need to wait for more than a years. If you want any ambassador, you need to first register and they will give the showcase the cars, and for in delivery in the hands, it should take more than 2 years, even more the 800 and ambassador for the delivery. It will take more than the 2 years for the any new manufacturing cars. But now, due to the COVID situation, the things has changed. Some time consuming is extended to the 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months. But before the COVID situation, if you need to take the any delivery of the car, it will get in the 2 months or 3 months because everything is connected from the one environment to the another environment. So if you need to take the cars from the dealers, the dealers will register and mail to us. Based on these things, we will configure and will send to the dealer end. So how this quickly it's communicating is because of implementation of cloud computing teams in the automotive industries. How? So in previously, if manufacturers need to take the any test drive cars, they will have the huge impact because for test drive they will use mainly 50 to hundreds of cars. After that, they will crash all those cars. But because of this assistance and visual technology, that count is reduced to the 10. Many things, many environment are tested in these softwares. Even though no physical tests are there, before manufacturing, everything is tested in the softwares. After that, we will go for the physical test like long drive, moving to the hill stations, and testing the cars there. Okay, but before this introduction of these technologies, even while manufacturing itself, they will test and they will test, they test and retest, which won't even get the car to be the fully functional. But now the car is going fully functional and the testing phase is reduced. So how it is reduced? Implementation of the cloud environment in the automotive industry. How they are implemented? Through the virtual driving assistance program. Okay, what is meant by VDA, virtual driving assistance? It will guide as a remote assistance. So any new course or any new bodies we used to stay, that platform is developed, they will go for one virtual assistance driving. Once it is occupied with the 100% efficiency, then only it will move for the further stage. Okay, then only it will move for the further stage. In that case, everything will be good. Then only it will go for the physical test. Nowadays, the regulation has come with the global NCAP. If you ask me the new Cougar and Magnet Global NCAP is, it's 4 star out of 5, which occupied with a lot of safety features next to the charters. So if you have any opportunity to see the Magnet, it is also one of the semi-automated car. Yes, I can say it's a semi-automated car. Why it thinks it has a first in BDC technologies and first in the 360-degree cameras, and one of the best feature it has is cruise control. If many people ask what is mean by cruise control is if you're going for the long drive, you want to keep the car at the speed of 50 or 60. You can set the speed in the speedometer, and you can first you need to on the cruise control, and you can set the speed. You can take the leg from your acceleration. The car automatically move in that speed. You no need to accelerate, or you no need to press anything. I had a video on this. I will show you in the coming slides how this things is working on it. So now you can explain to the many peoples saying that if anyone asks what is meant by cloud computing, you can see the computing technologies where you can get all the availability resources and services act through the internet as a medium. So instant, if any people ask you to come into the laboratory and test some driving instrument, you no need to go into the laboratory. Ask them to give you a cloud username and password, login from your system, access it, and complete all your test and close it. So even you can ask that now you have heard in the social media stating that work from home. The work from home is successfully implemented using the cloud technology. Now we are connected using the Google Meeting. So if you in depth of this Google Meeting, this is also one of the cloud enabled services where we can connect and sharing all over the resources. Now you can say that now you can say instead of saying that two alphabetical word, you can say the three alphabetical letters. Okay? Yes. Okay. I'm moving to this connected vehicles. Before this connected vehicles, I play the one small videos about the connected vehicles. Just bear with me. Yeah, this is the self-driving car technology implemented in the Robert Bosch they are using for the Tesla. I think everyone aware of the Tesla, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm playing this video. Just listen it. How this autonomous driving has come into the pic. Yeah. This is the Bosch plant, which are present in the Germany. If you go to the, if you placed in any of the automobile industries, either in Bosch or Renault Nissan, you will get in the opportunity to visit this plant. Here you can see that they are controlling the cars using the connected technologies. In engine, they are introducing the chip, which is going to act as the autonomous pilot. Here you can see that they are sensor technologies. Here they are driving from the remote. How this autonomous cars is working. These are the signals which indicates the obstruction, either it's vehicles or any other things. Okay. Now you can see this video. That guy is not even driving. He's just sitting and listening the music. The car automatically is moving there. Here you can see the things. They had the sensor which are presented in the vehicle system, which they can able to monitor the things.
Communication between the driver and vehicle is the key for automated driving to success.
We're designing our vehicle integrate to receive the right amount of information at the point in time, so that he or she can gain trust in our system. I can decide whether I drive or passenger any continue to safely execute other tasks while
Instead of losing time driving to work, we can decide how to spend it. It will synchronize the traffic flow and to improve the efficiency on the road.
automated driving definitely has the potential to revolutionize mobility at Note.
Bosch is mainly working on automated driving to make road traffic safer, more comfortable, and more efficient.
Yeah, I showed the videos how the Bosch engineers are helping us to drive into the more, how can I say, how more precisely to avoid this global traffics. Okay, see here, I'm back to the PPT. Yeah, now you can see this here. Vehicles are now you can see the videos and related this frame presentation. In that things, the core they had accelerated into the cloud computing environment so that they can monitor the whole system, how it goes and how it is working, those things and all. So you can anyone suggesting whether it's possible to implement in India this autonomous technology? Can anyone give your implementation of this autonomous technology in India? Any suggestions? Yeah, any suggestions? You young minds can help us. I think I got a message. Yeah, currently not. Yes, it was the things that everyone is violating the road laws and currently not. Yeah, it was a good things, but we are partially implemented this autonomous system in India. Yes, we partially implemented. That cause is also available in the market. That is nothing but I worked on with the Nissan, so I can see that Nissan Magnite has that partially autonomous because they had implemented the cruise control. Cruise control, what it will take, you no need to press any acceleration. You should control only the steering. No need to. Now you had taken we provided the rest for your legs. Okay, so using that acceleration, you don't need to press any acceleration button. You can just take the leg and restrict somewhere, and you can set the autonomous, or you can set the speed of 50 or 60 or 80, even 100. The car will move. You no need to press the accelerator button. Okay. So in that way, we partially implemented this autonomous cars in India. Another, there's even many other cars also implemented the cruise control. But why I'm saying that Nissan Magnite is not that I'm working in that organization, but thing is, it is the India's first in technology was having the CVT gearbox. Many companies will have the AMT and AMT boxes, but CVT is implemented first in the Nissan because CVT technologies are used in the sports cars. If you watch Fast and Furious movies, you can see the Nissan GT8 is in that movie. One of the cars they have used the Nissan GT8. If you Google it, you can see that Nissan GT8 how far it's superior those things. So those kind of CVT technology implemented in this Magnite, and even Renault Kiger, which recently launched, that is also using the CVT technologies. So if you have the time, you can spend and visit and explore that Nissan Magnet website. You can see that CVT technology and cruise control is implemented there. Okay, so you can just go and watch it. And in India, there's some criticality in establishing the 100 percentage of the autonomous vehicle because of the traffic system, traffic violation. The two people have suggested that the traffic violation and traffic jams and possibilities. Yes, those pictures are there. So it's our responsibility to change those conditions. If you go for the any traffic violating, it's wheel also done for the one or two instance. If we when we are accept the change in the whole nation, we need to do the change from our things. So once we get the change from our environment, we can see the change in the whole nation. That currently, instead of applying any strict laws for the vehicle, it's the every person and every people to learn that we should not violate any traffic rules. If we should not violate the any traffic laws in future, like German and USA and Japan, the many autonomous cars are implemented. Likewise, in India, we had implemented the partial autonomous cars. This partial will become into the 100 percentage because of our young minds. So it's now the ball is in your hand. So you need to bring the change within to our country and our things, our whole environment. Okay. So I had showed the videos about the connected vehicle, how it is working. Sorry. In connected vehicles, what they are doing is nowadays they are manufacturing the vehicles. It itself will acting as a supercomputer. Okay, how it's acting as a supercomputer? I mentioned that is any of them aware of the Nissan kicks?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you go to those Nissan kicks, their engine is taken with extronic turbo engine with CVT technology. So what this variable transmission, so you won't feel the any clutch or any change in the vehicle. You can drive if you increases the speed also it will move at the constant environment and constant feelings that you are driving with the very safest car. Okay, so if any of the had interested in new this technology, just check with the Nissan Magnite and Renault Kiger. There we had implemented the some of the cloud environment like tracking. Uh, Even the many of the courses implemented that automatic or temperature change. That automobile vehicle itself will automatically control the coolant features. Those automation technology has come into the India, and vehicle dynamic control. So when you are moving at in the rainy roads, when you apply the brake, sometimes the vehicle will jerk. But nowadays there is a VDC one concept is that it won't allow the vehicle to fall or collapse or rotate. It will move at the constant speed and will establish the stability, which avoid the unnecessary slippery from the road that VDC has implemented. And engine start button. Nowadays, anything in year 2021, if you buy any of the advanced car, you won't find the car keys. Instead, you have the remote button. Using that button only, you can open the car and stop the cars. Those things as implemented in all the future technologies of the cars. Another thing, what it says, infotainment system. Infotainment system. Previously, we have the touchscreen. By next years, we don't feel the any touchscreen. It's by voice control. Even many of the other cars has that voice control. Even here also we enable the voice control. Just you can control your infotainment part using the voice control. So these are the some of the connected technologies implemented in the cars. Now, if you ask the any of the person, if you people are moving to going for the any job interview, instead asking to have the technical questions from you, you itself provide an opportunity to ask the topic from what you are worked on is. So you people are working in the automobile industry. Since my background is IT, so I am unaware of the subjects what are learning in the automobile industry. But if you learn this ADAS, advanced driver assistance system, and our autonomous driver assistance system, and mobility services and connected in-car services, those things if you can learn, then you no need to search for the any jobs. The opportunity will be come into your doorsteps. This is the out of experience I sharing my knowledge to you. Okay, so this is the connected vehicle technology. I showed you in the video how this connected vehicle technology is implemented and how it goes. So using the implementations, we can monitor our car. For example, if you are giving the cost to our any of the known person, they are unexpectedly he is break some of the components and he doesn't inform to us. At the end of the day, in future it will become the great loss to us, either it's in the money or in terms of the relationship. So instant, if you can give the car to the any of the known person, those things you can tracking using the GPS of the cars. In between, if there's suddenly if we give to the any of our the known person, each person has the different handling of the cars. For example, if I give the cost to me, I will have this problem of forcing the clutch pedal for the long time. That's the thing is that. So in that case, what will happen? That clutch plate will be extremely extremely affected. If we go any of the known person, if we even press the long clutch pedal also, we will come to know, okay, there's some sluggish in the clutch. So the life cycle is going to be reduced. So we need to manage, or we need to call him and don't press the any clutch pedals. Maybe nowadays we are using the clutch, but in future we don't need to use the clutch. There is a two option. Even nowadays, so many cars was implemented with the automatic manual transmission and CVT technologies. So have any one of them has explained about the AMT, automatic manual transition cars, or everyone has seen those cars? Mm, yeah, anyone seen those cars like AMT, CVT cars?
Yes, sir.
Mm, okay. So if you are seeing this cars, you don't see the any clutch pedal, rather that you can see the acceleration and brake, right? So
Yes, sir.
instead, yeah, acceleration and brake only you will use to see. So in that case, it will reduce our this left hand. I mean, you don't need to change the gear. Everything is controlled with your legs and hands. That's all. So which made the driving more easily. In future, by the year 2025, you will see the all the cars with the AMT. After in the year 2030, you can see the many electric vehicles are roaming in and around the cities. Maybe you people itself buy the electric vehicles for our future things. So future, I can assure you that by year 2030, we will all the gasoline engines has been replaced by the electric engines. That will be going to happen, which will be implemented in the everywhere around the globe. So in that case, our work will be also reduced. We don't need to spend the much of the effort in the driving. You can learn the driving within a day. Just you can have control of your steering and brake and acceleration. So everything will come into the one hands. So because of implementing this kind of technologies in the automobile industries. Okay, I'm moving to the next slide. So this is the autonomous driving, which we are discussed about the previous slides. We are connected with the connected technologies. Here we can come into the autonomous driving. So autonomous driving in the, how can I say, in this video, we can see that the person is simply sitting in the car and they're not even touching the steering. They are putting the map update where to go. Okay. From there, they are just sitting in the maps and their car is itself acting as the servo, and they are going to the destination using the GPS technologies, and the car is moving at the constant speed. Likewise, now the Tesla has implemented the autonomous things. Even Bosch, many of the companies they are implemented the autonomous. In India, we had the partial implementation of autonomous like price control system and temperature increasing and decreasing and hill assist control and vehicle dynamic control. So these are the some of the parts and components of the autonomous vehicle. In the whole, the autonomous vehicles are the large things. So once the car is there, if anyone, for example, you have some urgent work, some person needs your car, you can get the destination in your mobile phone. Now you people are in Coimbatore. You want to reach Palakkad or you can say Tirupur. Okay, what you can do now? You are busy with your work. You are giving the car to your friend who doesn't know even any points about the driving. In this case, what you can say, you can set the map from Coimbatore to Palakkad or Coimbatore to Tirupur, and you can set the constant speed of the 50 kilometer per hour, and you can just press on the single button on your phone devices, and you can give the car to the friend. The car will automatically drive him to the Tirupur or Palakkad, and he will be reached there. And now you need to worry how you can bring back the cars. The same thing, no need to drive or anything. If you want to use the car, take your mobile phones using the autonomous technology, set the map, no, set the map where your car need to come, so automatically the car will come. That will be the, you can see the movies, that recent movies in Tamil movies, we can watch that Dulquer Salman movie which was released, right? In that movie he used to steal the cars. Yeah, that cars he will connect it using the mobile devices. From that he will control the car, right? I think you people watch that movie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in that movie you can see that he can control the cars and those things and all. So practically there's some security protocol are there, but the concept is we can also control the autonomous car by using the proper security protocol. So in that movie, they will show that they can easily hack the security protocol and he will start establishing the car. That is definitely not. We cannot easily broke the protocol. That protocol is very, very secure. There are lots of and millions of amount is involved on those building those securities protocols and everything. Okay. So and for the only the owners who can have the particular devices, they can able to control the every person and every access to this car. So like this, in future in year 2025 or 2030, you can see the autonomous cars moving in our the Indian roadways, but it should be in the people hand. People need to follow the strict traffic rule. By the year 2025, if the no people should not violate the any traffic rules, we can implement the autonomous thing. If they violate the traffic rules, this 2030 will go into 2040, 50, 60, or even our next generations. Hmm, we don't know how these things. But in foreign countries, they had implemented those technologies. But in India, it will take some time. That time should be in our hands. Okay. Moving to the next slide, shared mobility. So in shared mobility concept, I already said how this shared mobility concept is working. For example, in olden days, if someone is thefted the car, the first thing they will do, they will remove the GPS device and throw it, and they will take the car and somehow they will part disable it and they sell it. But nowadays, those things is not possible because that device is that GPS device is kept in the each and every component of your car. Okay, in your each and every component of your cars has this GPS devices. So if the person anyone stole your car or he steals your car or remove the GPS master GPS component also, there will be the other pods we have the GPS enabled features. So which those person unable to take it. If you take the cars, you can using your mobile phones, you can see that your car is not moving in the right direction. You can alert the police and you can inform to them. This is already implemented in India because in Nissan Magnet we can has the connected technologies. So anti-theft alarm and anti-things is implemented in Nissan Magnet and Geiger. Quid I am not aware of it, but these two things cause they had implemented all these technologies. So here you can see that cloud server environment, shared mobility is there, digital manufacturing and autonomous driving, which we have explained, and connected vehicles, which we are seeing now. So connected vehicles, all the live navigation, traffic rules, display routes. If you, as I mentioned earlier, that if you give the car to your known persons or your friends, you want to check the stability of car, how the car, you can just go on click on your infotainment and you can see the history where until he stopped, where he slowed the speed, where he increased the speeds, where he set the speed limit and where he taken the breakage. Every history you can change using this option. So these are the technologies which you can implement data in the connected cars. Is anyone or any one of their home has anyone used the Renault or Nissan cars? Okay, if we use the Renault and Nissan car, you can probably say that that car was manufactured in Chennai, and the engineers who are and are working is from our Tamil Nadu and Kerala states, and those peoples and the maximum peoples involved working are from Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and you can probably say that Renault and Nissan cars are manufactured from the Indian hands. So based on our hand, we are manufacturing and we are selling on the hand. The only the thing is organization is a foreign, but all the manufacture units, the people who are working and people who are implemented the latest technology, every person's working in those cars are Indians. And mainly that plant is present in our state. So any implementation, it's done based on our suggestions and feedbacks they have implemented. How they are getting the feedbacks? Simple, based on the shared technologies. Okay, so customer insights. So now we have seen the connected technologies and connected things. So now we need to time to get the customer feedbacks. How the cloud technology help the customers. Okay. So there is some incident which is happening in the global market. Okay. Uh, so the customers is coming and approaching the service center and they are saying that that the engine life is gone, something is gone. So how they are taking that? So that feedbacks is captured in the cloud environment and they put it and they will check how many cars in the market has this engine repair or engine problem. They will filter out those cars. Even some of the cars they don't need to report also. They will our organizations or the any manufacturer they will approach the customer stating that this issue was happened with one of your models cars. We are checking this your modules has also the same problem. So they will suggest us to please follow this, and they will safeguard our prevention from the loss and the loss of the machines from their end. Okay, so this is the way that prevention is better than the cure. So using this feedback, they are preventing the customers from the any of the slight damage which may be occur in the future. Okay, so using this, so they has a which will help us to build a strong relationship with the customers also. I had mentioned they had a query engines. Query engine is nothing but the database which are back and put it in the cloud data. Using that, they will see the what are the errors occur, how much errors are there, and those things they can see. And using that, they will help the customers to build the strong relationship with our product. So in future, you are the automobile engineers. You will also involved in the manufacturing or designing of the any cars in India. So in that time, you can think the lot of innovation points. What are the things are there, and make the very easy and user interface to the customers. Okay, I am moving to the next slide. So digital manufacturing. Okay, digital manufacturing. I will show the one videos which is available in the YouTube. You can also visit that. This is the during the magnet innovation. They has take this video how this some ad is going on.
But if you want to write essays that inspire, messages
Okay, in this video they will show how these cars are getting manufactured through the autonomous environment. This is called the Bose peak coating, where your engine and everything will be coated in this environment. Here you can see the fuel consumption powers which is generated by manufacturing engines. This is called the assembly shop, where you can see the assembled manufacturing of the every cars which they are manufactured in the plant. I will show this. Here you can see that engine component is getting ready. Per year we will produce the 2.1 million engine for the inspections. You can see this in the video.
சரி அப்ப நம்ம அப்படி இருக்கும் இது யூஸ் பண்றலாமா ஆமா அதுக்காக தான் நான் இப்படி அப்படியே தெளிவா போட்டேன் இந்த ஸ்கிரீன் இருக்கிற மாதிரி இங்கே இருக்கிற மாதிரின்னு சொல்லி போட்டேன் நம்ம பசங்க இப்படிதான் இருக்கும்
Actually, people after saying this, you don't think it's the information. It's in our India and in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. This plant is located. you can see that many of the things are automated using the robots. So here also for engine coding, some robotic components as involved here.
ராசா இங்கே ஊர்லையா ஜாலியா ஹலோ அதான் என்னாச்சு ஊர்ல இருக்கீங்களா ஒன்றும் இல்லை இது லிங்க் அனுப்பிச்சிங்களே கோவிந்தோ ஏதோ அனுப்பிச்சாரான்னு கேட்கலான்னு கூப்பிட்டேன் அப்புறம் கோவிந்தோட்டே வாங்கிட்டேன் டேரக்டா அதெல்லாம் தெரியலையே நீங்க அனுப்பிச்சீங்க ஒரு உள்ள போட்டு விட்டாருன்னாரு இப்ப அனுப்பிச்சு நீ கேட்டேன் அனுப்பிட்டாரு சரிங்க பாத்துருவோம் வரலைன்னா மாத்துணுமா லோடிங் இல்லையே ஐஎன்சி ட்ரிவன் ஆக்டிவிட்டி போட்டாரு ஐஎன்சி ட்ரிவன் போட்டிருக்காரு செல்ஃப் ட்ரிவன் போடல ஆமா அப்படியே போட்டு விட்டா அந்த லிங்க் அப்படியே போட்டு விட்டா சரி போட்டு உங்களுக்கு அந்த மூணையும் தனித்தனியாக அனுப்பணும் அவ்வளோதான் பண்ணி விடலாம் சிறப்பு ஓகே சார் பை
Here also you can see that maximum the machine effect is involved, only the human effort is involved for just rotating and cutting into the correct spot.
வாட்ஸ்அப்பா மெயிலா
Finally, you can see that car is moving out of the plant. Okay. So I had showed this in the video part rather than sharing and explaining in the theory. In that, I had showed the plant videos how these cars are manufacturing. Mainly they are using the technology of AI, artificial intelligence, and robotics and other technologies, digital technologies. In AI, what they are doing is they are feeding all the inputs into the robots. So the robots will acting as the components and they will take it and assemble it and manufacture this in car. Per day, we can have some thousands of cars manufactured and it for the moved into the sales. So after this car manufacture, we have some testing part. Then only the car will come into the market. But before this involvement of digital manufacturing, cloud computing, and those things and all, for this phase itself, it will take them more than a year. Then only it will go for a test drive. Then only the car will come into the market. After once it is produced, and after 2 years only the car will come into market. Now everything is mad into the single day or single month. Now due to the COVID situation, you will experience some delay in getting the cars, but the real fact is if the market is normal, you can get the car within the month after completing all kinds of testing and those aspects. Okay, so this is the technologies which for the digital manufacturing. Next is security and data backups. Previously, I explained in the movies, they will say that simply they will take some mobile devices and they will hack the car and they will control it. But in the real point of view, that is not possible. Simply, they won't hack the any cars because that cloud is a more secured environment. You can able to you can whatever the things you can with a lot of attempt and try, you can able to hack only the duplicate environment, not the original environment. Original environment, no one can able to access the original environment because it's a more secure things. How they are securing? It's a person. You need to be the taker of the ever access. For example, if you are using the fingerprint or eye as such a security device, there's a two type of the mobility device they will give while controlling the cars. Either it's a supply device or the device which is configured in your mobile phone. If they give in the supply device, it's a more secure. If using this, you can remotely control your cars. You can play with the cars. You are sitting in the room. You can send your car to the any market. You can ask the any person to purchase it. You can pick up it and you can come back to your home using the accessing your the cars. So in future, you can imagine that in the year 2030 or in 2050, definitely this is going to be implemented in the every nations. Okay, in that case, like like this pandemic, if we have the any other pandemics in this future situation, maybe the what expert is saying, we will experience the many pandemic in future situations also. In future, those kind of pandemics, instead of we are moving out, we can send our cars to the groceries and buy it and come back, means the human contact will be the less. So any of the pandemic is come, we will have some kind of the technologies which help to rectify from all the pandemics, that human touch and a human contact will be reduced. So even though in many, it's in our hands to take place of this all the autonomous